go again into the corridors of justice to talk matters land fraud in Kenya. And to help me with this conversation this morning, I have John Wesonga, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. We'll be talking matters land grabbing, public land evictions, forged succession documents, and everything in between in regards to land fraud in this country. What does it look like exactly? John, karibu sana wakili to TV47 physically today.
Thank you so much for having me today.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Karibu sana. Let's just start with telling us how land fraud in Kenya looks like exactly.
Thank you. You know, land is one of the main resources when it comes to even the well-being of any society. And land is a natural resource. So it's a very important thing when it comes to the living of any society. And that's why even in Kenya and in most countries, we've deemed it fit to not only protect land, but also to try and make it a constitutional right. So it is not only just a legal issue, but it is also an emotional issue and also about a lively issue. So when it's all about the living, it is not just about the living of people, but also something that is very important when it comes to the life of people. And that's why you'll find most of the time, people will tend to want to have a title in their name. And when something is as important as land, there has to be some sort of, not only the rights, obligations, but also people would want to find a way to shortcut, to own, to have title, and whatnot. And that's why it's an emotive issue, and it also comes about now the fraud and whatnot. And that's why I think in the Constitution, at Chapter 5, Article, I think 65, 68, thereabout, talks about land as a right, as a natural thing that should be protected. And when it comes to Kenya now, if you don't own land, you are deemed not to be wealthy. So you must have some title in your name for you to feel like at least you own something. You can have money, you can have everything, but if you don't have land in your name, you feel like you don't own any property. Because most of the property emanates from land, be it building, be it houses and whatnot. So, and that's why now people will find a way of not only inheriting also, but also to cut some shortcut. Some have worked their way through to owning land legally, but in Kenya, when it comes to land, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that we may call it not legal, but sometimes the one that you're referring to, fraud, you may find your way in a situation that maybe you even didn't intend, but due to your actions, you are capable of fraud when it comes to land. So it is a very emotive issue that I'm looking forward to having a fruitful discussion.
So when you say that sometimes without knowing, you may find yourself involved in, a land fraud, how does one get themselves, knowingly or unknowingly in a land fraud?
As I had indicated earlier, there are laws that talk about how you acquire land, how you transfer land, and how you can dispose of land. So one of the ways you can acquire land is maybe through inheritance. You can inherit from maybe your dad, your mom, your parent, or whoever. You can also acquire land as a gift. I can decide to gift you a portion of my property. You can also acquire land by